Hey everyone, Senraikai here. Today I'm going to be watching the 5th episode of the 2nd season of Oshinoko. Last episode was pretty interesting because we really got into the Aqua psychology stuff because the guy's all messed up, right? Like the whole thing with Ai and the mother and the stabbing and the killing and the trauma and the lifelong pursuit of revenge, like that messes somebody up more than a little bit. So getting to actually see some of that, it was good. I mean, it was rough to see, but like it's good that we are addressing it and showcasing that it's really a thing. And he does have a Kana who now, like more so than most other characters in the show, knows the situation very well, and or at least whether or not she 100% believes per speculation or not, but like she basically knows the situation, so she's there with Aqua, like comforting him. It's great. It's what the boy needs, you know. So that's good. So I am curious what we're gonna get in this episode. So let's just jump on in and find out. As always, if you enjoy the video, please click the like button and support me on Patreon for early access and support what I do. Help me keep doing it. And 3, 2, 1, play. As always, opening first thing, which is fine. Although it does mean the thumbnail on my PC always looks the same. Again, not a bad thing. No spoiler. You know, something about 3 arms coming out of a screen towards you is terrifying because a person only has 2, so 3 coming out together as if it's part of one being, it's kind of a terrifying thing. We definitely see some Aqua Ruby closeness in this opening. So it'd be nice if we could get some of that in the season as well. Like some like just hanging out, just the two of them kind of scenes. That would be nice. Because I don't think they really spend much time together, like just the two of them. Despite being literally twins, you know. But so hopefully we get that at some point. But I know he has his career and his girlfriend and everything. Who definitely looks the part right now. Oh wow, looks good. You can tell this is a Japanese anime, not an American cartoon, because otherwise they would never allow a female character to be in the kitchen. She's not. It's a thing lovers do. They feed each other sometimes in like a romantic, loving kind of way. Like you gotta be more receptive to it, man. Yeah, the hard tonsil thing. I do, but I'm not allowed to show you. Kuro Rekishi. You were fine, Aqua. Yeah, what do you mean? Okay. Yeah, very scientific way to go about it. But like in the moment, emotional stuff, like that's different beast. Right, I definitely get where he's coming from. It's almost like it's almost like he's an AI, you know, like modern usage of the word AI, where he looks at other examples. He's smart, so he can like approximate a pretty good looking version of that, but it's not doesn't come from the heart the same way like real art would, if that makes sense. There you go, Tanoshi. Gotta love her pouty faces. Oh, so we are really confiding in Akane right now, or at least like teetering on that edge. Those eyes. Oh, that sent a chill down my spine. Oh my god, those eyes though. Oh, she actually can be kind of scary. Jesus, that was absolutely terrifying. But man, she's a keeper, isn't she? Yeah, yeah. Find yourself a girlfriend like that in life. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some new perspective on her. Oh, yeah, we definitely got a rivalry between those two. Oh my god. I want to lick her as well, I understand. Did, after what we got in that one episode in season one, really, really pushing it right now. Emotional acting it is. Is that a Fight Club poster? I mean, it's probably always been there, I just never noticed. But I think it's like Foam Club. Ruby! Minami, I think that's her name, just a guess. Yeah. The last thing she saw, it makes sense she would be worried. That's Melt, the terrible one. Toshinoribi desu! Or something. Or something. This or this. Huh? Clearly impregnating his girlfriend. That's gonna get the gears turning. If he's banging another girl behind my back, I gotta check. It's an easy guess here. She's so innocent. She's definitely not gonna be a pregnant 16-year-old idol. Yeah. He's young enough where he would definitely go for that. She's got quite the imagination, though. But she's not gonna be happy about any of that. Yeah, if anyone would not do that. Ruby can be a little bit scary when she wants to. But there was definitely so much meaning in those words. Context that she's not going to understand. That she couldn't possibly understand. Oh, him. Well, yeah, you can tell by looking at her, she's probably in the industry in some form. But we know. Cannon fire. Hey, check out my QR code. He's a little bit pushy, but... And she's pretty easy to push over. I mean, she's too good for you anyway, just go away. Yeah, we were just trying to get you away from her, man. Yeah, hands off. Yeah, just stay away from important characters. Technically. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but man, guy's kind of a jerk. Which I kind of figured, so I'm not too surprised. But I definitely don't disagree with most of what he's saying here. He's just being a dick about it, you know. Man, he is unhappy about him ruining his thing. Yes, I understood that's why you care. That's why you were interested. Like, that was not lost on me. Yeah, unlike Aqua, who actually showed him how much he sucks instead of just telling him. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. That guy is no good. Just... Like, Alka made a comment in season 1 that she, is not a good judge of character with guys with, like, romantically. Like, how are we going to phrase that? He said something to that effect, when she was, like, trying to pick out a girl for him or whatever. She knows when she's hated. Man, we are getting so scrappy this episode. Tensai Koyaku. There's nothing she can say to Kana that she doesn't already say to herself a million times. There's a future on children's theater. That voice, though. You fired first, Akana. You can't complain. This is so childish. Let's see this. The look on her face, though. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. My god. That is so horrible. Man, she brought guns to a knife fight. Just eviscerated her in front of everyone. Yeah, our baking soda licking child actor. She's so mean. God damn it, just stop. Oh, that scene was absolutely amazing. She got one more shot in there. Just kiss you too. Yeah, don't mess with her. We should get the mud. I love that scene so damn much, you don't even know. Say Kakudaya. I mean, she improved a lot since then, personality-wise. But they definitely did hate her for a minute there. She was bad-mouthing mommy, yeah. When she didn't know anything. Yeah, that was great. I felt bad for her, but that was great. The problem is that she has her man. At least part of the problem. But there's obviously something there before that. That doesn't help anything. Ooh, those movements are quite fluid, actually. That looked great. Can I see that again? Those eyes. After the eye impression she did before, I would call her a genius as well. I mean, that's a prop, but this is. I know it's a prop, but still, I'm getting nervous. Okay, don't start a best girl war. Because I kind of I really like both of them, but I'd have to pick Kana, probably. Oh, oh damn. I mean, the tension is building up right now. You know, I'm trying to hate him, but like, I've always disliked Melt, so it's like he's saying things that I pretty much agree with, so it's making it harder to hate him, even though he's definitely a bad guy. It's weird, but anyway. Oh my god, that animation. Oh, oh, that was clean. That's how you get into character right there. And is the episode almost over? No, we actually have a bit. Tokyo Blade. That's the important thing. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Well, you know that's not true. Yeah, there you go. That is a big factor at the end of the day. Hey, Yuki, Memcho! I still remember the silly picture they had together back in season 1. Get a room, you two. Freaking normies. Right. Can you, though? Stay away from Ruby. Gotta protect Ruby from everyone. Well, we know one of them is a literal goddess. Who voice acted by a literal goddess. Eraihito Ruby. Probably. I mean, you can never truly understand what goes on in Aqua's head, but still calls him that. I am a little bit nervous myself to see how this whole thing's gonna go. But are we like doing the real performance now? Oh, thank you. I do like how they made them really look like the characters. It's a nice touch. Kana-chan. You know, that's technically that's a nice sentence, but the way she says it and everything, it's less nice. Yeah, we're not looking good over here. This is a good part of why I'm nervous right here, yeah. He's still struggling. Why do they have to keep showing me that? Yeah, I mean, that's basically what he did back in the first thing he ever acted in. Sweet Today, whatever it's called. Okay, looks like next episode is the one we're gonna get the performance. God damn, that's a week away. But it got me hyped for it. Almost out of water. Kami Kodo Shitemo. When written in English letters like that, some words can look so long. And that's it. Okay, that was the fifth episode of the second season of Oshinoko. Things are definitely ramping up for sure. Like we started off with some Aqua stuff, right? We got Akane. She's good in the kitchen, so just more and more confirming to be like a high tier girlfriend like status, like girlfriend material. So definitely pretty clear on that. And also quite loyal, like we talked about. Like I may or may not want to kill someone, kind of like lawyers speaking it out. Like what if that was the case, you know? It's like, oh well, that's cool. You know, I'll help you kill him. Like I'll hold the body bag while you slit his throat. I'll get in a position so he could drop in. I'll even help zip it up, and we can dig the hole together. I already know a great spot downtown. You know, that's basically how she acted. So even though like I know I made a comment before, like as far as like potential girlfriends for Aqua, who I would prefer, right? And I think I think I said I put uh, Kana and Ruby above Akane on that front. But like, I gotta admit, she gains some points with me in this episode. Like, I don't know, but I don't think it's enough to overtake Kana, especially because Kana brought her A game in this episode as well. But the gap is narrowed. Like that, I can at least say that much because she really showed herself to be pretty good here. Like the way her eyes changed when she mentioned helping with the killing, man. Like before she even said anything, the eyes changed, and I could already feel like a chill about to go down my spine. But then she actually says it, and just the way she's just so casual about it, like cool. Just like there was no like, oh my god, you want to kill someone? That's quite surprising. I don't know how to feel about that. We didn't really get that kind of reaction. It was much more just just cold and cool and just like sounds good, man. Just tell me who it is. Like I know you well enough to know that the guy probably deserves it. So just tell me the plan. Let me know the time and date and what to bring, and we'll get that settled. So that was good. But in the scene, we also she also talks about like what a ribald Kana is. Eventually, like having her tongue stick out in the imagination sequence. I can actually pause on it, which apparently I just can't do because like the faces like progressively got more and more unhinged. Something on Discord popped up. But anyway, yeah, right there, they just got the tongues just wide out. I don't stand a chance on my own. You know, it's what I didn't think to mention this at the time, but Kana with her tongue out like that, licking it around, it just reminds me of the baking soda gag we've done a few times with her character. So imagine the sheer amount of baking soda she could just lap up with that big tongue. So just thought I'd mention that. But then we talked about some of the acting stuff because Akko's really gonna have to bring his A game here because we talked about the importance of emotional acting and how different that is in Aqua's usual style, where he just kind of like copy pastes acting he sees other places. You know, edits it slightly to fit what he's going for in this situation, puts it all together and plops it down within him to that situation, right? I compared it to an AI, and I think that's a pretty good comparison because an AI can make something really good, sometimes better than an original, but it'll always lack that human element, right? Something will always feel off about it. At least when we're talking about arts specifically, like AI, we're talking about like text, more tech stuff, more cold, calculated scientific stuff. It's a little bit different. AI, you don't really need it. You really don't need a human element for that. But specifically talking about AI producing art, which is obviously pretty controversial these days, I think that's a good comparison to kind of what Aqua does. And if he's gonna try to put more emotion into it, that coupled with the trauma, like it's a real struggle for him. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go. But yeah, when he talks about not being a good actor and having to use what he can do and all that, very much like with the first acting thing he did back in episode 3, 4 of season 1, something like that, like deliberately stepping on the water puddles and knowing where the cameras are and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure we'll bring some of that to the table here too, but I'm just curious, like, how much emotion is going to come into play, because he probably will fall back on his usual way of doing things for the most part, but I can definitely see there being, like, a moment where emotion seeps through and it either, like, tanks his performance or he's able to properly lean into it and give a good performance, an emotional performance like he's never done on screen before. I can see that happening too, which would be really, really compelling if we can do that. But got all the chibi stuff. Oh yeah, we had I want to say her name is Minami, the pink-haired girl. I'll look her name up real quick. Yes, I was right. Her name is Minami, because she's talking about Aqua and going out all the. Because Ruby's like, "What's Oni-chan doing all the time?" He's like, he's out late, you know, like what's the deal? And she's like, "Oh well, he has a girlfriend." It's like, so what? Well, they're obviously banging all the time. Like, what? Oni-chan wouldn't do that. Like every night? No, like he wouldn't do that. Like he would never get it, you know, a high school girl pregnant, because he wouldn't do that, because we have the whole eye situation, and like, yeah, he could never do that. So of course she can't explain any of that to Minami for obvious reasons, but definitely one of the most, like, dark, depressing kind of reactions we've gotten from Ruby in a long time in regards to anything. But it's good, you know. It's good that the reincarnation stuff, the eye stuff, it really feels like it's really coming into play here with this arc. Mostly with Aqua, but you got a little bit of Ruby too, because it's easy to fall into that trap when you have any kind of isekai kind of story or anything, to where, like, it evolves into the point where it might as well not even be an isekai. You could just have, like, there's an OP protagonist and be mostly the same. So whenever we can, like, really make it clear that the reincarnation element is relevant to the story, I will always appreciate that, because I don't want that to get, like, fallen behind and just be forgotten. But then we have Kamoshida. I don't like him. He's obviously that obnoxious player kind of character that nobody likes, right? Which is kind of what Melt is as well, but Melt is, like, he seems to at least be like that kind of character, but with a decent person underneath all of that layer. Whereas Kamoshida seems just an all around be a jerk, like, not the kind of guy you want to associate with it, like, personally. So, because he's clearly comes on to Minami, like, she's, like, not very receptive to it, but he's pushy in that usual player kind of way, and she kind of, like, folds, but because she does need to be a little bit of that pushover type, which is not good considering how attractive she is, how busty she is, because she's going to get a lot of this kind of attention. She's going to have to be able to say no to deal with it. So that's a little bit concerning there, for sure. Luckily, Melt was able to have her back there, but then we have, like, Ruby coming up, like, yeah, I got his lion ID. He's just like, God damn it, Ruby. He's no good. Stay away from him. Just no. Like, Oni-chan protecting her from bad idol agencies early on in the show, he's got to protect her from bad guys. That should be Oni-chan's real priority, for sure. Which, again, can kind of connect to the eye stuff, just as well as protecting her from a bad, like, idol-related stuff, right? Because the eye situation was only one part idol problems. It was the other part having a child with a terrible person problem. So it was kind of those two halves. So Oni-chan's responsibility is to kind of protect Ruby from both halves of that idol-related trouble and guy-related trouble. Just, I know that's two fronts you gotta tackle, Oni-chan, but you gotta protect Ruby, man. She is too innocent for this world. But anyway, I'm only halfway through the episode just talking about it, but then we had the Akane stuff. Really good stuff. Like, Akane, most of what we had of her in the show was in the reality show, where she was obviously very reserved, very lack of presence. She got a lot of criticism for that before she got the real criticism later on. That's what it was basically about. Like, she has no presence. I don't like or dislike her because she's just kind of there. Like, she's a nothing. You know, how can I feel anything about her? But those kind of criticisms, right? But now definitely different. She's yeah, very sharp tongued at Ruby or at Kana. I don't remember if I brought this up or not, but I've always had to fight the urge to call Kana Ruby because she has red hair. Just that's the reason why. I think I've mostly prevented myself from slipping up on that, but just it's a thing. Anyway, she definitely like cops an attitude with Kana, says some harsh words towards her, and none of it seemed to phase her too much. Like I said, she can't say anything to Kana that she hasn't said to herself a million times. We know how like self-deprecating she is, just how much she criticizes herself, you know. But she just casually goes over to the table, whips out some papers. The celebrated gifted actress Akane Kurokawa credited a certain performer with spurring on her theatrical career. Just the voice Kana puts on for this whole scene is great. Stop it! Why do you have that? As she jumps on the chair, just what she's doing to Akane here is so mean, and it has this childish like vibe about it, like so, which makes it, you know, feel less mean, but it's still plenty mean, if that makes sense. I was curious about who such an amazing actress would admire so much as she continues to shake and sweat. I heard there was an interview Kurokawa gave for her first play. She was as a child. So to the back issue, and and here it is. The one you admired was me. That might be my thumbnail. Well, we'll see. But she just we just have we have Kana standing there holding up a piece of paper with with just her right on it, right? Also smiling, and I think it was hard to tell with the black and white, but also a bit of a blush. Akane-chan, you started in theater because you looked up to me. Of course, she's saying this all in like a sarcastic sort of way because she knows the answer to all this stuff. And then just the sheer tears coming out of her eyes as we have Kana just bouncing side to side, continuing to mock her as the bell peppers on the background. If you love me so much, just say it. It's actually gonna be hard to find a good to be able to pick a thumbnail for this episode. My apologies, but I don't like you one bit. I'm sorry. It's a one-sided adoration. Almost like if love confessing to someone and then they reject you. It almost has that atmosphere to it. But even it's so cruel that even Aqua has to comment on it. But like it was so much damage. But I think what really was like the finishing blow was the whole like staff looks like a fan got in here or whatever. Because like I kind of like gave her a paper cut and then Kana responded with a grenade launcher. That just is not fair. She came prepared with ammunition and everything. She just so much laughing and mocking and just everything. She mocked her so much in this. Like we got a little bit of fire back from Akane before it was all over, but man, the most of the damage was definitely done to Akane, without question. And Idea we kind of brought back that yes, Aqua and Ruby did hate Kana at some point when she was bad mouthing their mommy without actually knowing anything about her. But that whole thing was great, 10 out of 10. And then Akane on the stage. Kana came to the stage like holding a knife, ready for combat. You like really got to remind yourself that these are just props because otherwise some of these shots out of context would look really really just dangerous. But yeah, the way they animated them transforming into their characters was just god tier though. I wonder how much budget was spent on just that. But we are really ramping up for the actual performance itself. It looks like we're gonna get it for real next episode. We got Ruben in the audience. We got tons of people that matter in the audience. And the only real question is like, what kind of performance is Aqua gonna bring? Everyone's pretty fired up about doing their best here, I would say. Even Melt's gotta feel really motivated to be mocked by Kamoshiba. What the heck was his name? Something like that. Kamoshida. Yeah, after being mocked by him so much, Melt's gonna feel extra motivated to give his best performance. Obviously, the rivalry between Akane and Kana, they're gonna feel motivated to give it their all. Like, assuming Aqua can pull it together and really put out what it needs to put out without crumbling, this could be like a crazy performance that I'm definitely looking forward to. Next week can't come soon enough. But I think that's about everything I had to say on the episode. I'm just glad. Well, one final thing. I'm just glad we got more Ruby, because she's been a little bit neglected in season 2 so far, because the Tokyo Blade performance like doesn't involve her. So like narratively, there's no good reason for her to get a bunch of screen time. But I, as an audience member, still want Ruby to have screen time. So they did what they could with this episode, and she got a decent amount of screen time as a result, and it was good to see. But I do hope they like hard pivot once this is over to the idol stuff to showcase Memcho, Ruby, and Kana just talking about the idol stuff, doing more advertising, setting up the next performance on stage, hopefully more successful than the last one. So hopefully we can get that after the Tokyo Blade stuff, but yeah, good stuff. Really good episode. Got me really hyped up for the next one. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.